Hi everyone, my name's Laura and this is my channel So Very Laura. So today I'm here to show you some recent makes, and I've got 4 things to show you, 3 of which are completely finished and 1 of which is 95% of the way there. So shall we start with that one? And that one is currently being modelled by Olivia, and if you've been with me for a long time, you will know that this is probably my longest ever work in progress. So this is being modelled by Olivia. So I'll just spin around to show you. And if you've been watching me for any length of time, you will know that I have been making this for ages. I actually cut it out in June 2022, something like that. So this is the Tilda Shirt dress in this Lady McElroy viscose challis, which I think the design is still available in some substrates. Not sure about this one. So I decided I will put some long shots in of this so that you can see it more fully as well. But I decided that I'd been sitting on this make for too long and it needed to get finished, but I was pretty worried about whether or not it would still fit me, because certainly around the hips I am a little bit larger than when I cut it out. So I'm now done, other than putting on the buttons and buttonholes, and I've tried it on and I'm not quite there. I was getting my husband to help me with pinning the putting pins in where the buttonholes should be on the right hand side, because what I always do is I work out where the apex of my bust is, pin for a buttonhole there, and then go down in equal segments from there, because I just think then I've got less chance of having gaping holes around my bust. So that's what I do, and it's okay down to about the waist. I'm not sure how it would be actually if I tried to button it up to the neck, but I've no intention of doing that. But when I get a bit lower down towards my hips, the dress doesn't really meet together fully in the way that I would want it to do. So what I've decided to do is park it for now, but I've changed it on my stash hub to being made rather than a work in progress. I've just marked it as a project as on hold. So I'm going to see if, say, maybe in 6 months' time I can get the buttons and buttonholes on in the right place, and if not, I'll probably take it down for a swaps and see if anybody wants to finish it off. But I'm happy that I got on and made it, because at least it's now not sitting in the naughty corner. So other than that, everything else is done. So most of it has been assembled this year. I think I was at the point of putting the plackets on, which was one of the very first things you do. And I did try widening it at the seams, so having narrower seams, and if I'd gone any narrower with the seams I would have been sewing air. So I've done all I can to try and get it to fit me at the moment, and we will just see how it goes. I will also say I'm not sure I picked the best substrate for a dress, because this is so sheer that I would definitely need a fairly long underskirt underneath it, possibly even a camisole as well. I don't know. One of the options, of course, would be to cut it down to a sort of crop shirt, because then I wouldn't have a problem. But as I say, I've made it. It's going to go in the wardrobe for now, and then I'll see how I feel about it. Yeah, in sort of 6 to 8 months. Probably won't get to wear it this summer, but I guess if I go away anywhere warmer in the winter, I might. But we'll see. I don't regret finishing it to the extent I have anyway. I just don't see the point in putting buttons on it at the minute. So that's the Tilda Shirt dress. My most recently finished make is what I am wearing. So again, I will put some pictures in of me moving around in it, because I think if I stand up, I'm sitting so close to the camera that you won't see it very well anyway, and I don't have any room to go backwards because I'll hit my sewing machine. So this is the Roxy top by the New Red, who sadly aren't trading anymore. So this was the last pattern that I think her name's Amy, that Amy made, and I did apply to be a tester on it and didn't get on, but she gave me some really helpful feedback about what I could do. And this was actually the fabric that I said I would make the tester version in if I'd been selected. So it's this lovely viscose from Semi Sunshine. You can see it's got these big flowers and leaves all over it, and I really like it. I've got some left, although I think it would have to go, I don't know, as part of a garment. I don't think I've got enough left to make even something like a naivety. So yeah, I've used most of it. It's got these little crop sleeves with cuffs, and it's actually quite short. You'll see in the pictures that I'm going to put up. It actually comes up really short on me, and so consequently what I did was, instead of doing a proper hem, I just used my trusty overlocker and did a rolled hem on that with some, have I got multicolored thread on this? Yes, I have got rainbow thread on it, so that I can leave it untucked if I want to, rather than tucking it in. It is pretty boxy. Let me just check what size I cut it out as. I cut it out at a, I'm trying to see now, a size, I think I cut it out, yeah, I cut it out as a size 12, and that's absolutely fine. It fits perfectly fine round the bust. But I have written a note to myself saying add 2 inches to the length. I have also written a note saying check as to whether if I make it longer I would need to grade it out at the hip. I'm not sure. I might need to go to a 14, maybe not. Probably depend if I wanted to wear it tucked or untucked. What I will say, I won't spend too long on it because obviously you can't get this pattern anymore, is that the instructions were really good, really nice and clear, and she gives you kind of summaries of each step if you're an experienced sewist and you don't want the really full instructions. And you also have an option of finishing the neck with either a bias binding, which is what I did. So I used this made to measure bias binding from Avid Seamstress, which I really love. Or you can finish it with a facing, so you have a choice. And there are also choices of view, so you can make it, I think you can make it with a tie. I'll pop a pic up of the various different views, and you can certainly make it with a V-neck, but I tend to prefer scoop necks. So quite a versatile pattern, and a bit of a shame that she's not doing patterns anymore. I've got another one of hers, which is the Frankie trousers, which I was also going to make up, and in fact I cut out the paper pattern in the last week, and then the fabric that I wanted to use for it I actually couldn't because it wasn't wide enough, so I've put those on hold for now, but at least I've cut the paper out, so that's good. So yeah, so as I say, I will put some pictures up of me in this, but I'm going to get changed now and put something else on Olivia, and then I will be back to show you my other 2 makes. One other thing to say about this is I will probably put it on Instagram as my entry for Sew April blouse. Okay, back in 2 ticks. So I'm back, and Olivia and I have both done a quick change. But before I move on from the Roxy top, I just wanted to show you the inside. So you can see, as I said, there's the Specky Seamstress bias binding made to measure. And then I've got this cute little label inside, which I think these were a gift from the lovely Mandy Make It Sew. and this one says size perfect, and on the other side it says, not sure how the best way to show you, it says it ain't easy being perfect. And I just really like those, so popped one of those in there. So that is my top, the Roxy top from the new red. Would I make it again? Probably. I might try one of the other views. I've got other things that I would probably make first. But yes, I wouldn't rule it out. I did like her instructions, and I definitely want to try the Frankie pants. So let's talk about what Olivia is wearing first. So Olivia is wearing my version of the Avid Seamstress, the Blouse pattern. And you might remember my talking about this a little while ago, that the lovely Mandy Make It So and I both have this pattern, and she wanted to make some blouses, and she thought about doing this, and I said, oh, I've got that pattern as well. So we decided that we would do this as our collab, and we both got the kind of freebie version that came with a sewing magazine. I picked it up from a swaps table, but it does actually have all the measurements and everything that you need inside. I thought it only had the body measurements, but the finished garment measurements are inside. And I think I made the size 12. And yes, I didn't really make too many changes to it. As you can see, I'll flip it round so you can see. And again, I'll put some shots in of me in this. This is made in, again, a Lady McElroy actually. It's the Tokyo Nights fabric. And I've had this in my stash for ages and not known what to do with it. So I'm really happy to get it sewn up actually. And I wore this to the Sew Yellow for Endo party at the end of March. And in fact, the make I'm wearing is also my other entry. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I think it looks nice in the fabric. It looks more boxy on Olivia than it does on me. If I'd wanted it to be really boxy, I almost certainly should have sized up a little bit, but it's fine. It's got these lovely little buttons on it from my stash. I'll do a close-up of those for you after. They're sort of blue and sparkly. And the only changes I made, it's got no darts, so I didn't need to worry about fit on the bust. But the only changes I made to it were that I didn't put a button on the top. I think it would have been too tight again actually. And I hacked the sleeves. So the sleeves are meant to be, if you can see on the pattern, let's bring you back to me. On the pattern, you can see they are elasticated if you see the line drawing. I don't love elasticated sleeves. I have them on the Marilla Walker Nautilus top because that's what the pattern calls for, but if I make that again I would change it as well. So what I actually did was I got rid of the elastic and just added a cuff, no, without any buttons because it's loose enough, and I actually pinched the cuff from this pattern and just checked it would work. And this is what I'm wearing, is the Romy Lantern Sleeve top from Tiana's Closet, which is a free pattern. So I just popped those on. So I left the sleeve length the same, 3/4 length, and just changed it out from the elastic. And I think it looks absolutely fine, and it's much more comfortable for me. I'll show you the back very quickly, but it's not... I managed to get the open going right down the back there, but it's not got a yoke or anything. I did try to pattern match, but I'm really frustrated because actually I was stupid and I forgot about the width of the placket. So I did pattern match beautifully, but unfortunately what I pattern matched was the edges of the plackets and not where the placket overlaps. So anyway, I should have remembered, but of course, as usual, I was trying to get things done. So, but it doesn't matter. The pattern's busy enough that you can't really tell. So that is fine. So that is the Avid Seamstress, the blouse. Would I make it again? I might actually. Again, I've got so many patterns that I want to make. I wouldn't necessarily rush to make it again. But I found it absolutely fine. It went together okay. Didn't have any real problems with it. So yeah, for a free pattern and a fabric that's been free to me rather, and a fabric that's been in my stash for ages. It was even in my Space Hogs in my fabric stash video that I put up probably about 2 years ago. I'm really pleased with it, and it is coming on holiday with me. As is what I am wearing, which I've already told you is the Free Tiana's Closet pattern, the Romy Lantern top. And this was my other entry for the lovely Jess So What If I Sew's challenge in March, So Yellow for Endo. And it's made in this gorgeous viscose from Minerva. It's a Minerva exclusive print. Let me pan down a tiny bit so you can see it. So there you go. And again, I'll put in some photos of me moving around in it. But I have made the pattern before, and I made it last year for So April Blouse from a duvet cover, so it was much more cottony than this. And I really liked it, and I actually do wear that quite a lot, and I'll link my vlog where I talk about that down below. So this one's much drapier, but I adore the way the sleeves fall, and you can see that the fabric is, I think it's called, I'll put below what it's called. I want to say Renaissance Buildings or something. But when I go on my holiday, I'm actually going through the Med from Rome, and I just think this is perfect for a holiday where I'm going to see old buildings and things. And I was very careful when I cut it out, because this does have bust darts, you can see there. You can't really see it because it's such a busy pattern. And I was really careful not to get domes anywhere I shouldn't. Because some of those I just thought, no, you really do not want those in the wrong place. And it's fine, and I really like it. And I feel it's incredibly comfortable. And although it's not a colourway that I would normally pick, I think when I've got makeup on, which I haven't at the minute because I've been getting changed in and out of tops and didn't want makeup all over them, it's absolutely fine. And I actually would really quite like to get some more of this, maybe in cotton or something, but I really like it. And I have got a little bit left, so I'll have to see if I can do something with that. So that's been what I have been up to in terms of makes. So do go over and see what Mandy Make It So has done. I've seen a picture of the fabric that she's making the blouse in, but I haven't seen her finished version yet. But do please go over and see what she is up to, and I will link her channel below. So let me know what you've been making, and I will catch you all again hopefully fairly soon. I have got a holiday to go on, so if there's a little bit of a gap, that will be why. But I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.